Pest infestation? Call Bugman, because when you see red, bugs are dead.
All right, we're back. Gonna knock out the ACC today. Knock out the ACC breakdown, preseason breakdown. So what do we know? If you've been listening to any of these, what do we know about the ACC going in? Well, what we do know, a couple things. Unlike these other breakdowns that we've had, 9 of the 17, only 9, replaced one coordinator, and 6 replaced both. We also know that Bill Belichick is back coaching football at North Carolina. I would love to hear North Carolina fans' response. Are they happy? Are they not happy? I mean, I am not a North Carolina fan. I'll give you my opinion. It means nothing to people that are North Carolina fans. I get that. I think it's a sham. I don't. If he did this to get his son a job, his unproven son. So when you get done with Belichick in the end of this year or next year or whatever that, I'm sure they said he had to be the coach at least 3 years. I'm sure there's some kind of stipulation in that contract. But when he's gone, then his son is the coach in waiting. Now, I'm not saying that his son is awful, because I don't, he's never been a head coach. Nobody can make that call. To me, this just seems kind of a sham. He's taking a job to get his son a head coaching job. So, do I think his pride will want to go out there and win? I do. I think their schedule sets up really well. We'll get into that in a little bit. So I think that there'll be some success in the beginning. But I think I want to go play for the Super Bowl, 8-time Super Bowl champ. I think those kids are not, I think that's not going to pull people. I mean, it's going to pull some people, but I don't think it's going to pull a lot. So I don't know if it'll be that big of a gig for North Carolina. And then long term, it could end up being bad because you're stuck with Steve Belichick. Who? Yeah, Steve Belichick. So also what we know, ACC, to me, it's a 2-team conference. And then essentially, I would say from teams 3 to 9 are fairly equal. I feel like you could flip a coin, or when you're breaking down these teams, you're looking at a schedule. Is the only reason you're putting one team ahead of the other. So, without further ado, we'll go into what I think on the ACC. The ACC has 17 teams, and unless you're letting Notre Dame take your bowl games, that's a whole nother segment we could do. But at 17th, I have Cal coming in last at 17. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure that there's any team in the country that had as much turnover as Cal. They lost a lot. I mean, their running back went to Oklahoma. Their quarterback left in the portal. They lost a lot. They have a win total of 5.5. Like, a lot of people have Stanford last. They have a win total of 5.5. I would say under. The schedule's not good, and I think it's going to take a little time. And let's be honest, the ACC fans, the regular ACC fans, and the East Coast fans don't really care about Cal or Stanford. And to be quite honest, Cal and Stanford probably don't care about the ACC. I mean, I think it says a lot that you have 17 teams. These two of these 3 came in, and they're both at the bottom of the barrel. So, Cal 17th, 5.5 win total. I go under. 16 Stanford. I think they'll be a little bit better. We know that Frank Wright is coming in. Andrew Luck is now the athletic director. So, is Frank Wright doing his old quarterback a favor? coming in and coaching, or does he really want to be there? I think with Andrew Luck, with Frank Reich and that staff, their win total is 3.5. I would take the over. 4 wins in a season is not bad for a D1 program, or not hard sometimes. So I like that. Wake Forest, I have at 15. 4.5 is their win total. It's a fresh start. It's a fresh start down in Winston-Salem. They're starting from scratch. New head coach, new coordinators. They're bringing in a lot. He's the old head coach from Washington State. I don't know that you could do what you did at Washington State at Wake and make it long. For that reason, I have Wake under their 4.5 win total. Let's see, 14th Boston College. It's a rebuild, if you will, for Bill O'Brien there. But I think it's quickly becoming a hot seat as well. They've been scrappy. They've been good at times. They lost their quarterback. He went to Florida State. I'm not sold on him being at Florida State anyway. Boston College's win total is 5.5. I'll take the under just because of who they play. I said 3 through 9 was kind of a jumble in the ACC, and then I would also say 10 through 12 or 13, 14, I guess, is a jumble as well. So 13th, I have Syracuse. And some people would be like, wow, you have them that low. They won 10 games last year. I mean, they lost a ton. And I dare to say that there's anybody in the country that has a tougher schedule. They have one of the top 5 toughest schedules in the country. There's no doubt about it. They lost a lot. Their win total is 5.5. I have them under 2. I like the coach. I like the coaching staff. I like what they've done. Where they're going, I just think the portal, they got hit with quarterback. He was gone. Running backs, wide receivers left. One went to Penn State, Ohio State. So, yeah, I think Syracuse is going to take a big step back this year. At 12, I have UVA. We talked about this. We did an in-depth on breakdown of UVA. I have UVA's win total at 6.5. I have UVA over. I have them 7. Some people might be surprised about that. I think the upgrade comes at quarterback, Chandler Morris. The defense is going to have to carry the team at times, and I think they've got some depth. They brought in some guys too. So I think that's a good thing. I think the defense will have to carry them for a little bit, and then that will allow the offense to kind of gel a little bit, I think. Next, 11, I have NC State. NC State win total 6.5. They had a lot going over there at NC State, and then they kind of lost. They lost a lot after the spring, and that hurts. I think when you lose them, when you're losing kids in the portal and you're losing them December, January, that's one thing. But when you're losing them April, May, I mean, the pickings are slim out there that you can go get kids that you can throw in are going to be very good, right? So for that reason, they're at 6.5. I have them under. I would almost tell you to run to that. At 10, I have North Carolina. Now, 10 could end up being 6 in this conference. I mean, it's that crazy. I think they get off to a fast start. I think they're probably 4-0. Coming into Clemson, the schedule is weak. If you look at what I've just said, 6 of their teams. So I have them at 10. And there's 17 teams. 6 of the teams they play are below 10. So think about that. If we think they're better than 6 teams, well, there's only 2 or 3 more games in the conference. So North Carolina, I would run to that line. I like that 7.5. I think they get to 8-4. 9, I have Virginia Tech. Remember what I said, 3 through 9. Put them in a box and throw them on the floor, and that's how they could come out. I mean, I think they're that equal 3 through 9. Virginia Tech, we did an in-depth on them. I have them over the 6.5. The ACC is good. Don't get me wrong, but I also think that means they're getting some players taken in the portal. So that's why I say 3 through 9 can be. There's a whole lot of parity there. So we have Tech at 9. At 8, I have Florida State. I am not a believer in Norvell. I'll tell you, he's out here running his mouth. They open with Alabama, and if anybody's seen that, his statement was, "What do you think about playing Alabama?" And his response was, "I turned that job down for a reason." Hey, look, man, you won 2 games last year. You did not coach your team. You lost your team. There was zero discipline. Sure, you've got talent on that team. Now's not the time to start talking smack. I mean, I know 2 years ago you had a good team. You had a very weak schedule. Then you're all upset that the quarterback got hurt and you didn't make the playoffs. Well, I mean, that's part of the deal. If your guys get hurt, I hate to say it, you're not just awarded of what you were because that guy got hurt. That's my take on it. Florida State is at 6.5. In some places, I've seen some 7.5s. I like the over. I will take 7. I think they get to 7 wins. I think the talent is there for 7 wins, but I don't think the talent is what he's thinking, where he's going to be 10-2, 11-1. 7 to me, this is a sleeper, is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense is going to be very good. Narduzzi is a defensive coach. He's got a lot coming back. Think of Pittsburgh like 3-4 years ago when they were defense-oriented. They stopped people. They were very physical. And they had the quarterback that went to Pittsburgh. Well, they've got, Holstein's back. If anybody remembers, they went 7-0 to start the year last year, and Holstein got hurt, and then they lost 6 in a row. So which team shows up, right? But I think if your quarterback's hurt, there's a reason sometimes you lose those games. He's back. Defense is way better than last year. So for that reason, I have him 7th, and I think it's a run not walk to the 6.5 over on the win total. Georgia Tech. A lot of people have Georgia Tech higher than I have them. I have them 6th. I like Brent Key. Their schedule is tough. I mean, they've got some tough games. They got some tough road games. Defense only has 4 people back, and that's going to wreak havoc on them, I think, early on in the season. They have a 7.5 win total. I have them under. I think 7 is where they end. I think they come out in 7-5. So it's a little bit below where everybody else has them. But at 5, this is also, to me, a sleeper, Duke. I have Duke 5th. There's probably not many people out there that have Duke over Georgia Tech in their rankings. I'll say this. Duke upgraded at quarterback. They got Mensah, the quarterback that was at Tulane. Really good, really good. Their defense, just like Pittsburgh's, is loaded. Manny Diaz is a former defensive coordinator, same as Narduzzi. I think those guys seeing and helping calling those defenses are going to play havoc. I like Duke. It's a 6.5 win total. Again, I tell you to run to that. Louisville, I have it number 4. Now, I'll say this. They have some talent. Miller Moss is coming in from USC. If you remember, he won. He beat Louisville. He beat USC. He beat Louisville when he was at USC. Sorry about that. To end the 23 season because Caleb Williams sat. And then last year he lost. He played the first 9 games and then lost his job. I think Braum is a good quarterback coach. I think they'll need to gel quickly because they have some games at the front end of their schedule. They have them the win total at 8.5. I will go under. I think to me they're an 8-14, but I think you're going to see a lot of that in the ACC. I think I think 3 through 6, you might see some 8 and 4s, 7 and 5s. Excuse me. Number 3, I have SMU. Their win total is 8.5. I have them under. I mean, quarterback's back. That's good. They have 2 defensive players back. And if you listen to the top 25, it's the same thing. I'll say the same exact thing I said there. And can they go from being the hunter to the hunted? Because now people have seen them on tape. They have a year. They've seen Kevin Jennings. They know when he likes to run, when he likes to throw. I just think they take a step back. I have them 3 to start. I don't know that they'll finish 3. I think they'll finish 4 or 5 in the ACC. Number 2, I have Miami. Miami, I think, is very, very, very close to Clemson. They just haven't proven anything, so that's why I have them behind. But I do think it's a 2-team race. They don't play each other this year. But I will say this. Clemson, 6 of their first 7 games are at home. And that one game that's not at home is at South Florida, which is Tampa. So they got to hop on and fly 30 minutes for that. That's good. I mean, that's good. They only leave the state 3 times all year. Miami's win total is 9.5. I'm going to take the under there. I think they're 9-3. They have a tough schedule. They pick up Florida State, and they pick up Florida. Not to mention that they open with Notre Dame. So I will take them at 9-3. Clemson, everybody has them first. I have them first. Their win total is 9.5. I'll take them over. I do think there's a chance they come in at 9-3, but 10-2 seems about right. If they pick up LSU and they have South Carolina, so I'll give them the over at 9.5 to be 10-2, but I wouldn't run to the window and do that. So I have Clemson and Miami in the championship game with teams like Duke and Pittsburgh and even Virginia Tech kind of lurking around the second tier, if you will, to get into that championship game. So that is pretty much all we have for the ACC. We've got one more to do, and then we'll start releasing them. You'll probably already see them before you hear this, but that's what our plan is. Thanks. Heathens Kettle Corn and Mobile Grill. You can find them at Dr. Pepper Park, local Roanoke events, and also now doing fundraising with teams, organizations, churches, etc. Find them on Facebook, Heathens Kettle Corn and Mobile Grill.